The Tennessee Titans travel back to Florida this week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. The Jaguars are 6-3. The Titans are 3-6. Now, I already consider the Tennessee Titans to be out of playoff contention, but if they drop to 3-7, that's all she wrote, folks. The Titans are coming off a 20-6 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense put up 340 yards of offense, and the Tennessee Titans offense barely put up over 200 when they managed a measly 209 yards of total offense. Now, the Titans offense obviously is a huge question mark and a liability, but the biggest liability within the offense is the offensive line. And I'm going to pop up this crazy statistic for you guys, and man, when you look at this, it's really puts it into context here. Will Levis has already been hit the 13th most in the entire NFL, and he has only 3 starts. Every other quarterback on this list has played at least 8 games. They've played almost triple the amount of games that Will Levis has played, and he's already 13th most in hits. That is ridiculous. The line will get healthier when Brunskill comes back, when NPF comes back off IR, hopefully. But Dillard's got to go, guys. He's got to go. That was a swing and a miss. It wasn't a huge liability. It was basically a 1-year deal, even though it was a 3-year deal. We did the contract smart enough to get out after 1 year. I don't see him being on his team next year. Dillard's got to go. The defense has not been as good as I thought it would be this year, when I thought they had top 5, definitely top 10 potential. But they also have not given up more than 27 points all year. The offense needs to score, but it's hard to when they're not healthy. Missing guys like Burks, the offensive line, half of the offensive line, some games, that's not ideal. Josh Wiley, when he was out, that wasn't, he was starting to come into his own before he got a concussion as well. But when healthy and the line block's decent, you can get a game like the Tennessee Titans put together against the Atlanta Falcons. That is possible. And Will Levis can really show what he's capable of when you give him a couple extra seconds. Thank God he has a quick release and he can process fairly quickly for a rookie, because if he did not, he'd even have more hits and more sacks taken, because, man, he's taking hits to the chin just to get rid of the ball sometimes. But yeah, the offense needs to get better. It needs to get healthy. The offensive line's, definitely going to be an area of concern and focus during the offseason. But for right now, let's get the pieces we have healthy and see if we can muster together a competent offensive line for the remainder of the season. The Jaguars are coming off a 34-3 thumping that they took by the San Francisco 49ers, and I loved it. Jags have been bad for so long, and now that they made the playoffs last year, and looks like they might make it again this year, but look out for Houston. Your time, yeah, it might be coming up, but hey, remember the bad years. Don't get too cocky right off the bat, Jags fans, okay? Remember, be humble. The Jags defense gave up a whopping 437 yards of total offense, and the Jaguars only mustered 221, which was only 12 yards more than the Titans put up last week. And they also committed 4 turnovers. The Niners had 5 sacks and 10 quarterback hits on Trevor Lawrence. The Niners have one of the best defenses in the entire NFL, but they absolutely dominated the Jags in their own stadium, and also while traveling across country. I'll pop up the injury report here for you guys. Now we'll start with the Tennessee Titans, and then we'll finish with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now we have Treylon Burks, concussion. Wednesday did not practice. Thursday did not practice. He did take a pretty dirty hit in the head. Not to the head, sorry. He fell on his head pretty good in Pittsburgh. That looked very serious. So that concussion, I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I would not expect him to play this game. Kyle Phillips would have to continue to step up here in his absence, and hopefully we get something from NWI and Chris Moore. Chance Campbell did not practice. He is on IR. We might see him again this year. I doubt it. Andre Dillard. Now, concussion, did not practice. You know, as long as we get some of the other linemen healthy, I'm okay with him sitting. I don't even want him to be an option out there. Daniel Brunskill, this is a big one for us. Guard, ankle injury, limited participation on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, let's hope we get him back. We could really use him. If we can get him to slide in at guard, and then we can get Dylan Radins there to play left tackle, I think that will be the best lineup that we could possibly put out there this week. Now we have Anthony Kendall, who had limited participation on Wednesday and then did not practice Thursday. So, you know, hamstring, we'll see how that works out for him. Sean Murphy-Bunting, thumb injury, limited. That's promising. He is our best corner. It's evident when he's not in there, which he hasn't been the past couple games, that the pass defense is leaky, even more so than it has been. But it's definitely noticeable when he's not there. We need him back this week. Eric Garor, full participation both days. He's a go. Jack Gibbons, full participation both days. He's a go. Luke Gifford, full and then limited. So hopefully he didn't aggravate anything there. He's a great special teams player. Let's hope we get him out there. Ryan Tannehill, full participation. He'll be most likely second or third string quarterback for us. Continue to mentor the young gun Levis, please. Safety, Mike Brown, full participation both days. He's a go. Quarterback, Will Levis, full participation both days. He's a go. Running back, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, and Denico Autry are just NIR, rest, right? These guys are going to play. Now let's get to the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Wide receiver Jamal Agnew did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. He's questionable. Cornerback Tyson Campbell did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. He's questionable. You have the next four guys. I'll just read them off here. Anton Harrison, offensive lineman. Wide receiver Zay Jones. Defensive lineman Roy Robertson Harris. Wide receiver Parker Washington. All four of those guys were limited Wednesday and Thursday. I imagine all four of those guys will play on Sunday. Now, we're nothing new for Titans fans here, dealing with an injury report looking like that because, hey, what else? Hey, it's just, at this point, you know, when I see an injury report and I see one team's doubled in size compared to the other one, I don't even have to look at it that close to know. The one that's bigger is the Titans. Like, when I first saw that picture, like, and you know how you kind of focus in when you start reading something, you know, I'm like, oh, that big one's got to be Tennessee. Oh, yep, sure enough, it is, because always hurt and always banged up. Now, we need a lot of these guys to come back healthy this week, and I think a lot of them will. You know, 3 of them just being rest, so I imagine that will shrink, obviously, by 3 players, and I think we're going to get a majority of those guys back. Jaguars, if they miss anybody, it will be Agnew and Campbell. Campbell will be a decent blow to them, so will Agnew a little bit, but I think both those guys will probably end up playing. But we will see. Now, guys, the key here for the Tennessee Titans, if they're going to win this game, will be to get after Trevor Lawrence and force him to make bad decisions. And the defense isn't a huge worry of mine for the Tennessee Titans, you know, because I think we can hold our own. When we're on, we're on. We can do what we did to the Cincinnati Bengals when we hold them to 3 points. We have the defense that is capable of doing that. It's just not consistent. The entire team is not consistent. But, you know, it's the offense, like I stated earlier, it's what worries me. I think the Jaguars are, you know, we're going to get Brunskill back, hopefully. Looks like it. That'll be an improvement right there. And if we can slide Radins over to left tackle, that will be an improvement over Dillard. So if we can get those guys back healthy and that's our starting offensive line, we will be okay. Or I shouldn't say okay, we'll be better than we were last week, which is obviously an improvement because last week was bad. Now, I just don't think the Tennessee Titans are going to be able to keep up with the Jacksonville Jaguars on offense. As good as the Titans defense is, the offense just, it's not, you know, we're missing Burke, so we're missing a competent wide receiver 2, or a big play threat wide receiver 2 with Burks being out. So it's just Hopkins out there, and then we have a bunch of like slot guys. I mean, I want to consider NWI to be a number 2 on the outside, or Chris Moore, really. Chris Moore is more of a burner. Burks is that number 2 wide receiver that we're truly missing. I haven't been too impressed with Chig, and then Josh Wiley, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. So, you know, let's hope that we can muster some offense together this week and just give Levis some time to throw the ball. That's all we need is some time to throw the ball. And let's see what the young kids got. Rest of the year is an evaluation on Levis. But guys, like I said, I don't think the Titans are going to be able to keep up with the Jaguars in this game. I see it being 24-10, Jaguars over Titans. Titans fall to 3-7, and I think you can officially slam the nail in the coffin, and we're done. We're done. We're that much closer to a top 5 pick after that, guys. So let me know what you think down below. And hey, at this point, guys, let's just watch the development of Will Levis. And as always, tighten up, everybody.